Hi everyone, welcome to another video on Days by D on my channel, and today we're going to talk about my commonplace setup. I have been experimenting with two setups for commonplacing. I'm very new to commonplacing, and basically the reason I've started noting down things more often is because whenever I sort of get anxious, I will usually take my dog for a walk, and he and I will be out for half an hour to an hour, and during that time I'll be listening to something on self-improvement or something on productivity, things that are interesting to me, topics that are interesting to me, like fashion or costume design, finance, things like that. So, and what tended to happen was I would always remember the things that I've been listening to, or the books that I've been listening to, and the podcasts, but I won't be able to recall a lot of detail if I was trying to, think about something I learned or talk to someone else about it. So, and that would become really frustrating. So I've started to note down the things that are important to me, or the things that I want to take away from all of that reading that I do. And so the idea of commonplacing came to me through Tiago Forte's book, Building a Second Brain. And I love this book. He introduces a lot of a lot of the reasons why he started taking notes, and sort of introduced us to his journey of note taking. And it started off as an analog journey, but actually the second brain is a digital way of taking notes. So he's defined the second brain as an external centralized digital repository for the things that you learn and the resources from which they come. So as I said, a lot of his videos, books and workshops are tools to help create that digital system, but a lot of it can be applied to analog as well. So, and he also introduces a lot of really nice, interesting stories about commonplacing in history as well. He also outlines 4 capabilities that we can rely on a second brain to perform for us. The first one is making our ideas concrete. The second is revealing new associations between ideas. That enables sort of creativity and mixing and connecting different ideas together. The third is incubating our ideas over time. And the fourth is sharpening our unique perspectives. And so these top 2, making our ideas concrete, so sort of offloading these from our minds and putting them into a concrete form. And then also revealing the new associations between ideas, which, is enabling creative thinking. I think those are the 2 that resonated most with me. What I'm going to do is take you through what I've been doing so far in both of these. And I would really love to get some input and thoughts if you've tried any of these methods, or if you've tried commonplacing and you probably have a lot more experience than me in terms of what works and doesn't work. So I would love to hear in the comments about what you think. So this first one is my traveler's notebook, and I'm always looking for ways to find this. I do take it mostly traveling, so the last trip it went on with me was Japan, so that's why it's sort of looking a bit scuffed up, but that's that's part of it. It's telling the story of the journey we've been on together. And so I still have a little bit of bits and pieces from my Japan trip in here. These little guys were little creatures made from leftover electronic bits, which was really an interesting thing to see. They're really cute. I'll have to show you a real one I've put on my filofax, a little one of these robots next video. And his brand's called Nano. It's very cute. Yeah, so this is for now I've set it up for commonplacing, and what I've done is, you know, this one here is where I had those notes, is just where I've started taking notes on things like the self-help, the productivity, things like that, anything that I've read along those lines. And I'll probably include finance notes and things in there. So my idea is to kind of compartmentalize the types of notes that I'm taking so that they're easier to access, because I'll know where within this filing system they are if I'm going to want to go back and have a look at them. So the other, that's it. This is a piece of artwork that I've saved from our Japan trip. This is in my daughter's travel journal, and she took this out because she wasn't happy with the piece of artwork. She's only 6, and I really love this. It's actually a roof, and she's drawn all the tiles on the roof and the chimney, and these are the birds in the sky, and she's written the 18th, my first day. I can't see what she's written. A bouquet of birds came rushing. I just think it's really beautiful, so I keep that there as a memory for myself. So I did start off using this as a journal, but now this is just a catch-all. So these are my journaling pages, a bit of doodling, a bit of daily logs, but I think I want to use this just for general day-to-day commonplacing things that I want to catch that don't have a category. And then this one will be the, as I said, the financial and productivity. And then the last one, I've put my croquis in here because I'm doing a course on drawing clothes on bodies. And so that will go in here with my notes on fashion design and costume design. So that's the first system. And I do really like using a traveler's notebook. I do feel that it kind of, you know, helps me feel creative. And yeah, I really like how I have odd, very, I don't know, I feel that I have very odd writing, and it's sort of, you know, it's all capitals, but I feel like this, you know, in this grid, this particular grid, I think it's 5mm. I feel like my writing looks nice in here, so that's another reason for it. This is actually, while we're here, this is the story that I wanted to go through with you. This is of Octavia Butler, and this is one of the stories told in the Second Brain book. And so this is a story of her journey with commonplacing, and she's the author of The Parable of the Sower, so that's one of her more famous books among many others. And back, you know, when she was an aspiring writer, she'd written down these 3 rules for herself. 1, don't leave home without a notebook, paper scraps, or something to write with. 2, don't walk into the world without your eyes and ears focused and open. And 3, don't make excuses about what you don't have or what you would do if you did. Use that energy to find a way, make a way. I love this one the most. And it kind of, he gave a few thoughts on what she commonplaced about as well. So everything from song lyrics to ideas for character names and motivations, new topics to research, everything she needed to build, you know, do world building in her stories that would take place in her commonplace book. And she also wrote notes on her studies of anthropology and English and journalism and speech, all those sorts of things that she needed as a writer. And this is an excerpt from one of her commonplace books that I found online. Here she's written a quote from Napoleon Hill. Whatever the human mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. And I love that quote. And she's also written a list down here of essentials for success. So all of her notes tended to be like that. A lot of her notes. And self-talk and, lots of, what's this one say? All good things must begin. All good things must begin. The other one says, happiness is the progressive realization of a worthy goal, by Earl Nightingale. So, yeah, really, really interesting to see her book. What I most loved about her story was how she how she was so set on her goal and how determined she was. And, she took time to work. Basically, when she finished her studies, she deliberately took part-time work with coffee shops or cleaning or anything that didn't, was not mentally taxing. And so that she could, all her brain power would be focused on writing then. So she could come home and write. And so The Parable of the Sower became a bestseller in 2020, and that book portrays a post-apocalyptic future in the aftermath of a runaway climate disasters. So that's why it became so popular in 2020, of course. But she was able to build a world that she had never seen and predict that from all of her notes. And I thought that was really interesting to think about. This is I'll show you the second setup. So this is a filofax clip book, and this one's interesting. It's A5. I didn't want to invest in an A5, a proper A5 leather binder just as yet. So this one's quite reasonable on the pricing because it's not, I don't believe it's leather. It's sort of some material that's, I don't know if you can see there, but it's bound. Maybe you can see here. It's sort of bound around a bit of board. And I guess the thing that becomes interesting from that is you can actually bend it over like this. So if you're, if I'm in class and I'm standing up and trying to take notes, I can actually write along just with it in my hands like this. So I like that flexibility. I wouldn't be able to do that with a proper filofax. As you can see, the binding there inside. And so what I've done is I've kind of kept it, these tabs here, and the first section is my class notes. So you can see here, so in my course, the demonstrations are pretty long. They're sort of like half an hour to an hour, and I'll usually record them on my phone, and then after that I'll come home and I'll listen again and I'll take notes, and then I will take screenshots from my phone, and so I'll make these notes myself. And the reason I do that is it just sort of solidifies everything from that I've been listening to from the day, because half an hour to an hour demonstration is a lot to sort of take in and absorb. More of my notes here. I'm trying to, there's pictures of my teacher here. So so as you can see, quite a lot of in-depth demonstrations go into making such a complicated garment. And any notes I take in class. So that's this first section, and any fashion and design notes could also go in here, or costuming notes. The next section is notes I've taken from my coaching sessions, and I've taken screenshots of any notes or any sort of scribbles he's done, as well as he's explaining things to me. And then the next one is I have my croquis in here. And then I have my drawings from my course, self-learning course that I'm doing on drawing clothes on bodies. And so, that's how I've started using this. It also comes with these really nice calendars. Quite nice fold-out calendars, monthly and yearly. I don't know what I'll use them for yet. So, and I've also seen an example of, instead of using the tabs and sectioning off all of your notes, to use the dot stickers. I've seen a lot of YouTubers using that, and having a legend and having the dot stickers represent different topics, and then all of your notes are together. And I feel like that may facilitate that creativity and that creative, melding or mixing of ideas. And so, yeah, I'm not sure what the best way is to go about things. So and I would love your input if any of you are using the dot sticker method and you've had experiences of that being handy. Because at the moment, I just wonder if, say I want to look up some coaching notes and I have everything mixed up together, I'd have to flip through all my sort of fashion notes to get to the coaching notes. So I'm not sure if that would be the best way or not. So what I'm going to do for now is I'm going to carry on with the printed notes for anything that feels like it's just too long to write out in pen. And I'm going to carry on with the sections in this book, and then in this one I'm going to just basically start writing, and maybe I'll try and use the color coding method and see how I go with that, and sort of compare the two, and maybe I'll update you all every 2 weeks to see how I'm going, and might keep me accountable and make sure that I'm writing down things. But I would love to hear your thoughts, and I would love to know what your experience is of commonplacing, and if anything particular has worked for you. I think the goal is to have all that information there ready to access, and have all those bits and pieces of information blending together to help you come up with and jot down new ideas. I have had some combination of ideas happening already that I am going to, two of my worlds are blending, and it's quite interesting, and I am going to talk about those in my next video or two. It's very exciting. And yeah, that's about it for this video, and I'm hoping to post videos a little bit more often, but we'll see how we go. Let me know if there's anything in particular you want to ask about these setups, and I hope to see you in the next one. Okay, bye for now.